everybody. Welcome, family members. Claire D. Kolheim here. Hi, Claire D. Kolheim. Hey, everybody, and welcome to my show. Let's be clear about it. A show where I interview and talk to my friends about the entertainment industry, y'all. And one of the things I wanted to do was start with how to get started. That's the number one question I get on the regular. So if this is your first time seeing me and being with me, hey, how you doing? Feel free to like and follow Claire D. Kolheim here on Facebook, Claire Kolheim, over here on YouTube, hey YouTube, and kolhobama everywhere else in these internet streets. Yes, to the yes. Y'all, let me see. Let's be clear about it. It's a show that I created in order to show my former students who I used to teach at a high school, Overton High School, to show them that everyone's path in this industry is different and there's no one set formula, but it's evolving into it's evolving into so much more. And I'm so excited to be able to share that with you all here on today. So today is going to be one of those days where I talk about, just the industry. But before we get started, I want to give a shout out to my the former guests of my show, Kanisha, Kristen, Nikisha, Kia, Noelia, Marcus, J. Jerome, Marcus twice, Amelia, Ebony, Tamara, Curtis C, Laura, Carl, Brianna, Jay, and Justin Nelson, who we met and who I interviewed last week on Let's Be Clear About It. Yes. So if you haven't seen any of the previous videos, any of the previous interviews, and you're really interested in being a part of the entertainment industry, y'all feel free to catch that. It's in the playlist on my YouTube and my Facebook pages. Feel free to go through those videos and learn these stories. Some of them have been so amazing. And today I'm not going to bring my own story. I'm just going to share a little bit about the industry and just how I got started. All right. So I wanted to say, hey, brother. Hey, last week's guest, Justin G. Nelson. Yeah. Hey, Rika. Hey, my sister. Thank you for being here. Thank you all for being here. So today I want to just pretty much get started with where are my Southern manners? Y'all forgive us, sister. How are you? How are you doing? How are you doing? How your friends doing? How your family doing? I always got to check in to make sure everybody's doing well. How you doing? How about you over there? You okay? And you? All right, cool to the cool. All right, y'all. So one of the first things that I wanted to share is a brief synopsis of my story. But like I said, I'll talk about that another time. But I wanted to tell you I went to high school. When I went to high school, I was a part of the drama club, and I didn't take drama classes, but I was a part of the drama club, and I was only in that club for maybe a semester. And then I started focusing more on band and music. But what I did there, I realized that I did have a love for acting. I had always been singing any which way and every which way. But every place that would let me sing, I would be there. So then I decided, after working for the state government, I decided that I was going to I wanted to change the course of my life. I wasn't married at the time, didn't have all these dogs, didn't have a mortgage. I was single, and I wanted to give my life a try. So I auditioned for the Boston Conservatory, and I got accepted. The tuition is a very high tuition, so I was unable to attend the next year, but that did not stop me. And from my humble beginnings I was able to go and create a career in theater and film. And I'll share my demo reel where I was in a feature film. I'll share my commercial reel where I was in several commercials. I'll share that with you on another day when I specifically just talk about myself. But today's Let's Be Clear About It is really an encouragement to you all, for those of you who want to get started in the entertainment industry. Just know it's never too late. I started when I was 28 years old. And I went back to school because I did not know anything. And then now I'm 42 years old. Yes, Black don't crack. Say it loud. And I'm still going strong. And even in this time of all these different pandemics, I'm still creating opportunities, not just for me, but also for my friends. And I think it's very important. And again, that's something we'll talk about on another video. So I'm thinking that I will be sharing some tips and tricks and some information just on a broad scale on a monthly basis so that you all get a chance. If you have friends, family members, neighbors, cousins, nieces, not aunts, whoever who you think is talented, and I say feel free to share this information with them. And hopefully this will be something that they can use as a resource for their own careers. Okay, good. Y'all, thank you so much for the hearts. Thank you for the likes. Thank you so much for the shares. I really appreciate it. Rika, oh yeah. Thank you, sis. That's what my sister-in-law gave it to me. She gifted it to me along with several others. So you might see a few things over the course of Let's Be Clear About It. Thanks, sis. All right, y'all. Let me just start with let's just go ahead and jump into it. This industry is not for the faint at heart. I'm going to say that again for the people in the back. This industry is not for the faint at heart. When you're going to get more no's than you are going to get yeses. And I remember when I was a freshman at the Boston Conservatory, they had a guest speaker. She was a soap opera, an actress on a soap opera, and I asked the question because I didn't really understand what this entire industry was about. I thought if you worked hard and you put your best foot forward and you're talented, you are going to make it. And little did I realize that it took a little bit more than that. So I asked the question, what happens when you audition for a role and you audition for multiple roles and you get every single role you audition for? And she said, if that ever happens to you, call me and tell me your secret. And in my mind, I didn't quite understand what she was saying. I was thinking, well, if you put your best foot forward and you audition and you're talented, you should be able to just make it. Little did I know, again, that was not the truth. So my beginnings were very humble, and I'm not even talking about a little bit. I'm talking about like when I first started, my acting resume only had like the church choir, church basketball team, church praise dance. It was all church. It was church. Let's see, church basketball praise team, choir, praise dance team. I was also at one point thank God I had an opportunity to be a stage manager for the Strikers All Star. So I had that on my resume as well. But for the Strikers and the Mahogany over at FAMU, having that experience, I think it helped me a little bit. But it wasn't what sealed the deal. So I'm going to share with you all what my first headshot looked like. So that way, it's not about how you start. It's about that desire to keep pushing forward. And then it's about how you finish. You know what I mean? All right. So here's an example. This is my Instagram, right? And on my Instagram, I have a picture of my very first headshot. And let me see if y'all can see this. In it, look at you, Claire D. Philippe. Look at this girl, full of wonder, full of hope and aspirations. Yes. So I put here in my caption, back when I was just Claire D. Philippe, we took this picture in my friend's living room. You can see the blinds right there in my friend's living room. And I said here, I had no idea. I had no clue what a headshot was supposed to look like. And that's just being honest, y'all. I had no idea, no clue what this headshot was supposed to look like, what it was supposed to entail. And even though I liked this picture, I saw a lot more people taking this type of pose where their chin is down a little bit. So I was like, okay, this looks cool. And maybe they'll think this is some kind of dramatic effect. They won't even really notice that they won't even really notice that it's a window. casting directors, agents, and the like. They're a lot smarter than that. But what I wanted to show you this for was that was originally my headshot, and I used that headshot for a long time. And then my brother, Justin G. Nelson, introduced me to another photographer here in town. I got another headshot, and then I got another headshot, which is the headshot I use now. And this is my headshot when I submit for jobs and auditions or other gigs. This is the headshot I use. And I'm showing you this to show you that the transition over time is something that will happen. You won't use the same headshot as you when you first started, but be encouraged that things will change. And it's not, again, about how you start. It's about how you process and progress through the ups and downs of this industry, as well as, how you choose to finish. All right. All right. Give me 1 second, y'all. I forgot to share this to y'all forgive me. I forgot to share this to my page. All right. On now. Sorry. All right. Here we go. If you're finding this information helpful in any way, shape, or form, please feel free to share it with all those people who you know who may want to try their hand at this industry. And my brother Justin could tell you it's not easy. Thank you, brother. I know, wasn't she a cutie? Thank you, Rika. Thank you, Chris. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. All right, y'all. So let's talk about how to begin, because when I first wanted to get started in this industry, one of the things that I kept asking around to anybody who would listen or anybody who I thought had some level of success was, how do you get started? Like, where do you start? Like, what is this? I didn't even know what musical theater was. And I didn't know how to begin. And now when I talk to people, when I'm doing interviews or being interviewed, I get a lot of questions. How do you get started? What's the first thing? They see, like when my commercial was running in Memphis, everybody want to know, how did you get the commercial? Do you have an agent? Do you have representation? How did you do this? How did you do that? So that's what we're going to outline today. That's pretty much what's going to be the focus of today. Justin says, it's a process. We are always rebranding. Always, 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 always. Rather talk about it. So let me talk to you. Let me pull out some of these notes, y'all. So the first thing I wrote was, we have to address, they tell you there are the five W's: who, what, when, where, why, and then they throw in how. Okay, the how is, we'll talk about that. But the first thing I would say to do is assess your talents. Number 2, identify a where. What's your vision for your career? And then number 3, what are your intentions? That's your why. Your talents will help you with that vision, but your why is going to keep you in the game for the longest time. Trust me. The rejection level is high. I would venture to say that you get 90, and Justin, you can correct me what you think. You get 90 out of 100 auditions. You probably will get 3 callbacks, maybe 4, and you might book a job. Might. There's no guarantee in this game. So you have to be very clear as to why you want to be a part of this industry, no matter in what capacity, whether it's on stage or in front of the camera, behind the camera, or in the writer's room. You have to make up in your mind, why do I want to do this? Whether it's dancing, whether it's whatever. Why do I want to do this? Because let me tell you, if it's because you're chasing, it's award season now for our industry. If it's because you're chasing an award, if it's because you're looking for fame or fortune, there are exceptions to the rule. Somebody gives somebody a chance. This was my niece and I gave her a role in the show or film, or this was my cousin and now she's a principal dancer. There are exceptions to the game, but that's not the rule. The rule is you have to be very clear as to what it is, why it is that you're pursuing this career. My why was because I loved singing, I love performing, and I would do it. I plan on doing it until the day I die, until I transition to the next life, y'all. This is my career, my profession. The other thing you want to do is, have a clear vision. Have a clear vision. What I mean is it's not so concrete that it's not flexible. You have to have a clear vision of what you want out of this career. What I want to write. I want to be on the stage. I want to be in films. I remember writing on my Facebook wall, I'm going to book an agent. I'm going to book some commercials. I'm going to be in a movie. And I've already done all three of those things. But it's like my vision is to continue. My real vision is to tell the stories of of voiceless people. So the characters I play, whether they are comedic or serious, those are the voices that I want to tell. So what is your vision for your career? What is it that you want to do? Like, where do you want your career to go? Ultimately, I'm going to have my own production studio, and I'm going to be producing TV and film and web series, and that's ultimately where I want to go. But I know I have to get started somewhere, and hence, let's be clear about it. And then another thing, this is the part where the rubber meets the road that a lot of people don't want to hear. This particular part, you have to tell yourself honestly, or ask yourself, what are your talents? Just because you like watching TV and film doesn't mean that you're an actor. Just because you like, and I'm just being honest because that's how brutal this industry is. Just because you like to twirl around in the kitchen doesn't make you a dancer. But that doesn't mean you can't get there. But you have to really assess yourself and where you are in your skill set and in your level. I'm just being honest, y'all. I'm here to give y'all the real. That's why people ask me to help them with their auditions and their submissions and their acting, is because I'm here to tell you the truth, to keep you from that hurt, because sometimes that rejection will could keep you from continuing down the path that you want, that vision that you see yourself going. That rejection is real. It's serious. And if you watched any of my previous videos, any of my previous interviews, you'll see that is true. Okay, so really assess your talents. And one of the things I do is I ask my husband. He is brutally honest when it comes to my performance, when it comes to my just everything that I do with production and entertainment. He's very, very honest, in love, of course, but he's very honest, and he doesn't tell me, "Oh, you were great the whole time." He will give me constructive criticism so that I can be a better performer and I can go out and put my best foot forward. He always says, "Finish strong," and I that's what I remember even when I'm on stage or on a set somewhere. So those are the three things that I want you to think about as step number one for whatever it is. So if you have a niece and nephew, I get questions a lot from people who want to know how to get their children involved, and everyone thinks their child has the best talent in the world, and that's great. My next step for you who think you have talent, or you have talent, is to really invest in yourself and prepare. Preparation is so important. This industry does not come free. This industry does not come without its costs. There are so many costs associated with being in entertainment. I'm talking about investing in headshots. I'm talking about makeup, clothing. I'm talking about classes. I'm talking about submissions if you're doing it by yourself through Actors Access. I'm talking about membership sites. There are a lot of costs associated. Travel, lodging, audition books and subscriptions to like music notes. And there's just so much financially that you have to prepare for in order to make this a viable lifestyle and profession for you. When I first started, again, I was working for the state of Florida. And so the class that I took was, I took a dance class, I took a music class, and I took an acting class. I took a guitar class. And I went to these classes for free because the state of Florida was paying for them. But that's not necessarily the case for so many other outlets, so many other places that offer lessons. You have to prepare financially for this industry. Like, my headshots weren't free, except the very first one, because he was being a photographer. He was trying to branch out into being a photographer. I was trying to branch out into being an actress. So it was like, that trade off, which is still available for you and your circle. But don't go into this industry expecting that just because you have a friend who's a photographer that they will do it for free, because that's an entirely different video. But everything you see that's the editing of your trail of your videos, the photography, the pictures, the touch-ups, that takes time, and that comes with a cost. So you want to make sure that you're prepared financially for this industry. And I'm not saying it's going to take you $10,000 unless you plan to move to New York or California or even Atlanta, or Miami, but it's not going to cost. I'm not saying prepare $10,000. I'm saying make sure you understand that you will have to budget for these things. You have to keep fresh headshots up. I'm up for some new headshots myself because I got these braids in my hair, y'all, and I really like them. So I need to get some new headshots to show this particular look. So that way, if I submit for an audition, that I have the look. I have the same look as the picture. Here's a quick story about why your headshots need to look the same. So I auditioned for Dreamgirls, and I was using that headshot that was I was using the headshot that's in that's on my Instagram, right? I auditioned for Dreamgirls and I got a call back. Y'all, and they were like, asking me to sing. I thought I was going up for the role of Laurel, but what turned out was they wanted me to sing for Effie because my voice was so big, or is so big. Now I was singing, and then the casting director, he tells me to come to the desk, and I'm like, really excited because I'm still brand new, and then he goes, so I was wearing a wig at that time, and it had some color, and I was like, they'll see the picture. It'll be all right. They'll be fine. He goes, he looks at the picture. He says, "Is this like my hair? Is this hairstyle underneath that?" And I said, "Yes, it is." And he goes, "I want to see this person tomorrow." And underneath my hair, I was wearing it natural. What you think I did, y'all? I went home that night and I was telling my sister, instead of working on the material and practicing some other skills of preparation, my sister and I put this last minute perm in my hair, y'all, and it didn't take well and it looked horrific. The swoop was there, that front swoop that you see right there, that was there, but everything else looked kind of weird. I remember it, y'all. And I still got a call back, but needless to say, I still got a call back, but what I was trying to say is that how you look on that headshot is exactly who they're looking for when it comes time to submit your audition. So that's why, you have to keep your headshots fresh. You have to keep your look fresh. And if anything changes about you have to update your headshots, right? So that's something you have to be prepared to invest in. Sometimes at a moment's notice, like once you get that hair done, girl, it's time to consider some new headshots. Another thing to prepare for, y'all, is just the mental and emotional preparation for this industry. And I cannot talk about that enough. The preparation for this industry is to, I don't remember where I got this, but it's a concept I adopted. And it's just, from that same woman who came to the Boston Conservatory. And she said something that helped me in my career. Your job, while ultimately your job is to book the role, your job is to audition. And when she said that, at that time, I didn't understand it, but it stayed with me. So when I did my first big audition, which was a casting call, which was a union required call for Dreamgirls. This is before the casting director told me what he told me. But when I did that union call for Dreamgirls, I went in there thinking they're going to hear this voice and they're going to book me. And I was so nervous. Last minute, I changed everything about my look and everything. And what they said in the room was, the guy was listening, and then he goes, "Thank you." Now, I didn't know anything about this. I didn't know anything about this industry. And I thought, thank you, man. Thank you. Like, thank you so much. And he gave me eye contact. So I'm waiting for something else. And he goes, thank you. I was like, wait, what? Okay. So I had to leave. And so I met this girl. I met a couple of people during that time. But when I left, I was in the elevator with this girl, and I said, how do you think you did? And she goes, girl, I just left that audition right there. I'm not even thinking about it. And I'm thinking in my mind, she's not thinking about it. She's not concerned about her career. Ah, you can't think about it. You can't dwell on it. You can't focus on it, because that's the lesson that she was trying to teach me at that time, which I learned later. You have to be mentally prepared for this industry. Do what you came to do, and then leave all of that in there, in that room, in that audition room. Sometimes, I mean, when I first got started, why didn't they call? Are they going to call me today? And should I email them? And what should I do? And I just worried myself so much, so much. And none of that was in my control. None of that was under my control. But you have to stay focused on the process. And the process is do your work and then let them make their decision. But if you stay focused on, did I get it? Did I not get it? Should I have worn those shoes? What about this lipstick color? When you start focusing on things that are, did they like my voice? Did they like how this outfit? You will worry yourself into a spiral. And sometimes that spiral will spiral you right out of the industry altogether. So when I went to New York in 2018, my goal was to audition as much as I could. I auditioned for any and everything as much as I could. I think within a 4 month, 3.5 month, 4 month period, I auditioned for 68 things. And it was the last thing that I auditioned for that I just let it on the floor. I just had fun with it and just left it on the floor that I booked. They pretty much told me in the room that I got that job. And then they called my manager. She called me with the offer and everything. And I got the gig. So it's something that you have to prepare for mentally and emotionally. You have to fall in love with this industry, the good, the bad, the ugly. You just have to fall in love with pretty much your talent and your skill set, because this industry is full of so much rejection that if you don't stay focused on what your job is to audition. If you don't stay focused on where you see yourself going, ultimately this is going to be a production studio. Right now it's my kitchen, but it's going to be a production studio. Ultimately, I'm going to be able to tell stories in front and behind the camera. Ultimately, if you don't stay focused on those things, then this career will kick you out. This career and its rejection will kick you out. Yes, Tara. Yes, 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 yes. All right. So now that I've talked about just the preparation and the assessment process that I think you should really take into consideration. And hi, Tara. Hi. Good to see you, sis. The first, the let me go ahead and answer the question, where do we begin? Like I said, when I first started, I attended non-credit classes for acting, for singing, for dancing. And so I would start there. Take some classes. Even today, I still have a vocal coach who I have to make a plan with, again, because I need to I need to get some more vocal lessons. I still take acting classes. I still work on my craft. I still try to work that muscle. It's like it literally is a muscle. If you don't use it, you will lose it. But if you're just getting started, then you really need to be taking some acting classes. You really need to take some dance classes. You really need to take some vocal lessons. Why do I suggest that? With acting classes do something that we as actors try to make look simple and easy and fun. We make it look like there's no work being done. We try our best to make it look like it's all play. But acting classes help you see that there is so much work that has to be done before you can even open your mouth to start talking, to start reciting lines. That there's so much work. These dance classes let you know that those people who are twirling around and they're pop locking, there was work. There was a 5, 6, 7, 8 associated with that. There was a breakdown of every step. Those singers that are out there just wailing, "Ooh," all that, they're letting you know that those singing classes, vocal lessons will let you know the tediousness of vocal warm-ups and working on your scales and breaking things down. And I watched an interview with where Celine Dion was being interviewed by Larry King, and she was telling him about her vocal exercise and how she warms up, and how people would think that she just wakes up and she said, yeah, but she has to do her lip trills. She has to do, her vocal exercises and warm ups in order to get her voice to a certain caliber. And when you think about that, she makes it look easy. She's singing the Titanic song, and she's singing these big ballads, and you just think, oh, she's just talented and gifted with that. There's also that, but there's also the training that comes with that. So if you're brand new, one of the things I would say is embrace how you already sing. Embrace how the level of acting you may already have, and embrace the type of dancing that you may already do. Just go ahead and embrace that. Embrace that, because that's where you are starting. All I knew was gospel music. All I knew was to sing with a choir, really, and to harmonize. To be the one leading a song in musical theater was outside my wheelhouse. But what I was able to do was really focus in on, okay, what I was learning at school at Florida State, as well as the Boston Conservatory. Another thing I want to encourage you is to get better in those areas. So while you are a good gospel singer or a good pop singer, or while you're a great tap dancer or ballet dancer, or while you're a great actor, and you're used to just doing theater, continue to get better. Continue to take classes where they teach you more about technique. They help you develop new skills like improvisational skills and memorization skills, and help build that muscle memory with different type of patterns. It's just an expansion for you. They continue to take these classes so that way you know how to take direction. Speaking of direction, one of my questions is, who's my favorite director? Who's my personal favorite director that I've worked with? That'll come in another video. That's for you, Dave Landis. But you can continue to expand that you can continue to expand your ability to take direction, so that when you do get an audition, and in the audition room they start giving new direction, you're used to taking it and changing things up in a way that they can better assess your ability to be part of that project. I can't say enough about acting, dancing, or singing lessons. I would if you are interested, or you have friends or family members who you think are talented people, I say introduce them to a local theater, dance troupe, or musician, or a vocal coach, vocal teacher, and enroll them in these classes. And here is where the financial preparation comes into play, because classes can run anywhere from $35 and vocal lessons. $35 to like $200. So if you're taking classes, you have to be prepared to invest in that. Now, I do know a young gentleman who used YouTube to teach him vocal lessons, and I was in awe of his talent. But now he attends school to fill in the gaps where he was unable to grow. But I would not use that as a template, y'all. You need somebody to give you personal feedback, to give you personal instruction, to help you grow and improve as a performer. When I was in Boston, even after I left the Boston Conservatory, I still kept my vocal coach, because he was helping me. He was a vocal therapist turned vocal professor and coach, and he was helping me develop placement, which is a terminology used to express or to identify, like, where the sound is coming from your mouth and your throat and your chest and he helped me see these things. Those aren't things that I naturally knew, but these are things that he helped introduce me to, so that I could work on preserving my voice, preserving it through big shows where I had to yell and then go back into a ballad, or helping me to identify how to make a sound bigger without hurting my throat. before, I didn't have that training, and I would just sing from the heart, sing from the heart. And I would have to take 2 days without knowing that that was called vocal rest. I would have to take 2 days and not sing or talk so that my voice could come back, because I would scream and yell and use bad techniques to produce a sound. Where vocal coaching, vocal acting classes, dance classes, they teach you how to take what you have and expand it. So I'm a big proponent of taking acting classes, dance classes, and vocal lessons in your pursuit of this career. Now, some of the essential tools, I'm breaking it down. Is this helpful for some people? Because y'all got to let a sister know. If this is helpful, then I'm going to redo it, package it up, and give it and have it available for folk. Thank you so much, y'all. So the next thing is I'm going to talk about some essential tools you'll need to get started in this industry. I talked about the headshots. Look, the headshot is not going to make or break your career, but you want to have industry standard headshots. And industry standard means the headshots that are currently being used in our industry. When I first started, nobody told me that 2 weeks later, after I got these headshots done, and after I continued to use to purchase more of these headshots, 2 weeks later, that would change. That would not be the industry standard. Nobody even told me that this was a little too dark, so you could see all those shadows. You can't see my face like you can see it now. But this was the old industry standard, y'all. This was the old industry standard. Black and white photo with a glossy finish. Today's industry standard is more like what you saw with my other headshot, where it's me, it's in color, it's vibrant, there aren't any shadows. You can actually see my face. My hair is covering just a little bit. If I ever did this again, I would move. And this is a wig, y'all. And I thought, why not wear a wig? Because you can always pop a wig on, even if you have different hairstyle. Different story for a different day. But here you can see my face very clearly. The sun is shining. You see I'm in a solid colored shirt. This is just a better representation of me as an actor, as opposed to the one that was on my Instagram. You know what I mean? Hey, Joseph, good to see you. Good afternoon, my sister. Thanks for being here. Y'all, thank you so much. I'm doing my best to drop this knowledge and let you know exactly how to get started. So you will need you will need headshots, but again, it's not the headshot itself that's going to make you get the job. It'll open the door, and that's what they need. That's what they need to see is your face, because they're going to hire your face. They want to see what that face looks like. Pretty much, that's and it has to be a good representation of you. All right. Another thing, thank you, Joseph. Thank you, sis. Another thing I want to talk to you about is your resume. Now, when I first got started, y'all, I didn't have a good resume. Like I said, I had all my experience was FAMU, Strikers, and Mahogany Dance Troupe as a stage manager, and I think I did that for 1 semester. Church basketball, I remember having that on there. Church choir, church praise team, and I think I might have put church altar team on there, but I think I took that out. Education, I put FAMU, because I didn't know what they were asking. But under education and training, I put FAMU with my bachelor's in economics. And then I put Florida State, that I was taking a few classes. And then my experiences were, I don't think I had much experience. I did like a public service film and a student film that I couldn't get my hands on, but that's pretty much all I did. So this is the second, after I went to the Boston Conservatory, this is the second look of my resume, where it has my theater experience here, a few, one thing I did at the Boston Conservatory. Let me see if I can make this a little bit bigger. Yeah, so this is my theater experience right here. Let me see if I can blow it up just a little bit bigger, y'all. And this is not industry standard, so she was still learning, y'all. She was still learning. So I had my theater experience, the two student student directed things that I did at the Boston Conservatory. Well, the four things I did at the Boston Conservatory. Professional experience. You don't necessarily need that, but I had that there as far as what I was able to do. And then my training, FAMU, Bachelor of, I told you, I got my degree in economics, and then my minors were in music and business. And then Florida State non-degree student, I was taking that acting, that guitar and that dance class. And then the Boston Conservatory, where I was working on my BFA. And then I just listed all my teachers because that's what I had. That's what I had. And then some organizations that I'm a part of, and then my skills and my accomplishment. But this wasn't what, this isn't what they needed, but it did not hold me back. So as far as you, if this is something that you want to pursue, get your resume together and make sure it has your level of education, any experience you've had, any experience you had. Y'all, I got into the school at the time. Boston Conservatory was number 1 or number 2 in the nation. The first school rejected me almost in my face. The second school, Boston Conservatory, they accepted me in my face. So, and my resume, my artistic resume had church. Y'all hear me what I say? I said church basketball. It had church basketball. And I still got into it. So go ahead and create your artistic resume. It shouldn't have this like here I have my headshot, which is another picture we took, and I thought it was just really cool. It shouldn't have that. We'll talk about headshots another day, but it should just show a list of your experiences, what you did, the role you played, where you played it, or who the director was, and that's it. And there are several videos on YouTube and in these internet streets that can help you design your professional artistic resume. Another essential tool you'll need is once you start taking these acting classes and these voice lessons and some dance classes, you'll need what we refer to as a book. A book is a book of sheet music that you have prepared and can sing with no problem. They can flip through your book, and it's just a binder book, and they can flip through your book and they can pick a song and you can sing it. They can say, okay, start from here, and you can sing it. It can't be something that you can't bring in a CD with a track. You can't, because it's in an audition room. It's the casting team, it's you, and it's an accompanist on the piano, and they're playing. They need that sheet music. So in your book, you want to have the songs that you are prepared to sing. If anyone asks you, okay, I see here you have, let's pick a song. You have Always True to You in Your Fashion. So let's start right here. And you have to be ready to sing. Well, I'm always true to you, darling, in my fashion. And you have to be able to, okay, I see you have How Are Things in Glockamora. How are things in Glockamora? Okay, I see you have Chain of Fools. For 5 long years, I thought you were my man. You got to be able to sing these songs. So don't put songs in your book that you plan on learning. Your book should have songs that you have worked with your vocal coach on, your vocal instructor on with, and those are songs that at a drop of a hat you will be able to sing. All right. And also my friend, he introduced me to the concept of a monologue book. In a monologue book, no one will ever ask you for this, but this is something you should keep for yourself. And it's just a notebook like this notebook that I'm using. This used to be my bullet journal when I called myself trying to bullet journal, but that's a lot of work. Let me see. But your monologue book, yeah, that's just a lot of work trying to make this into a journal. But your monologue book is just a book, just a book that has, maybe you wrote them in there, but monologues that you can practice regularly, monologues that you can recite at the drop of a hat, a comedic monologue, a serious monologue, a Shakespearean monologue. You will be able to actually use this at any given point. So this is something that you would be preparing while you're, in transit on your way to the audition, the day before the audition. Monologue. What are some techniques that you use to prepare your articulation? Monologue. This to have your monologue book ready, so that you can continuously access that at a moment's notice, like during a pandemic. You can refer to your monologue book and not have to go to the different plays and searching the internet for monologues. You just go to your monologue book just like you would go to your song book. That's a free tip right there. So you have, and also continue to take dance classes. Now we're not necessarily, some places are not meeting online. I'm meeting face to face, but there are dance classes being held online. So you have to book that with a dance instructor and just have a dedicated space where they can actually see you. And, there's a lot of hesitation when it comes to the body. I used to be very nervous when I had to go to dance class because you had to be in a unitard and you had to wear tights. And I was like, look at this belly, y'all. They're going to see this 29-year-old belly, 28-year-old belly, and it's just going to be like, look at that belly. No, you have to be willing with dance. You have to just be willing to try. You have to just be willing to try and go from there. Good afternoon, Samuela. Hey, sis. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Y'all, let me know. I hope that this is helpful information for you, that you can share with your friends and nieces, nephews, uncles, aunts, and everybody who's interested in performing as a career. All right. And the next thing I want to talk about is we're going to the next level. You've been taking these dance classes. Good afternoon, Terry. Good afternoon, my sister. Oh, thank you, Deborah. Thanks, sis. Yes. Yeah. Thank you, Rika. Very informative. Thank you, sis. Thank you, sis. Thank you so much. So the next thing we're going to talk about is, now that you've been performing for a while, you've done a few plays, you've done maybe some work in your classes, scene work with a partner, you're getting some of those jitters out about having to put your hand on someone else's shoulder. I mean, we'll talk about all that throughout the course of these lessons. But now you're ready to take your career to the next level. And let's say you've booked a couple of plays and you like the feeling, you understand a little bit more about where stage left and stage right are, you understand the terminology that is used. I had to do a lot of on-the-job training because after I left the Boston Conservatory, I didn't have, the internet wasn't what it is today, really. I mean, it was, but it wasn't. So I had to learn a lot of what I learned on the job. So I would book a gig and then they would refer to different things and I would have to ask my friends what that meant or try to search the internet to see if I could find that for myself. But once you get to a level where you've been active and you've been pursuing this as a professional career, then the next step is to get you a website. Get you a website, y'all. Get a website. Let me see. I'm gonna go to my website real quick. Sorry, y'all. This is my website. Let me open it up for ya so you can see. Get you a website. This website is not industry standard and I have to change it. I'm in the process of changing it. But at least when people come to my website, they'll see what it looks like, what I do, and what I'm able to do. They'll be able to see, okay, a clip of me performing. They'll be able to see me acting. They'll be able to access my resume without me them having to contact me and ask me for it. They'll be able to access some of me pictures of me in different productions. They'll be able to access some reviews that people have said about me. And right here, I give a collage of the different shows I've done. This is one of my second headshots, y'all, right here. I don't know. Let me see, make sure everybody can see that. Let me do it this way. Yeah, this is a second headshot from that other photographer I told you, but we were just having a good time. And, I'm always like, and there's various little shows I've been a part of. So on your website, people should be able to see and learn a little bit more about you. They should be able to really, when casting directors are looking, they're looking to see if they can find somebody who can perform. Have other people seen them perform? What do people say about them? Let me go here again. This is all going to change, but it's okay. And here are some reviews I've had. So I have it where, yeah, I see it. So this is where some reviews I've had were from the different performances that I've been a part of, what people have said, some of the awards I've won. I just want people to come, when they come to my website, they see it as a one-stop shop. And they don't have to be concerned with, okay, well, where can I find this? Where can I find this? Where can I find this? So, but once you take your career to the next level, just get you a website. You can use Wix. Don't worry about, when I first started, they were like really big on don't make it too hard for people to see. Don't make it too hard for people to be able to understand the name of your website. That's irrelevant. Just get you a website. Get you a website where people can find your information. Get you a website where people can see your headshots, your resume, and some of your experience. And that is it. Even if it's a free website, get you a website. Get you a website. Thank you, Tara. Thank you, my sister. Thank you. Thanks, my sister. Yes. Good afternoon, Pamela. Good afternoon, my sister. All right, y'all. So then once you get your website, then here come the costs again. So the costs now, you have to have like a part, if you decide after experience in the industry. Do you want to join the union? There's a cost associated with that. Do you want to join the film and television union? There's a cost associated with that. Do you want to, if you have a credit like on IMDb, do you want to be able to access that? So these memberships, for submission, if you don't have a representation, if you don't have an agent or a manager, memberships for you to submit things, to submit your resume, the financial obligations increase. And we'll talk about different membership sites that you as a professional actor may want to consider. But until then, get you the basic essentials, y'all. Get your headshot, get your resume, start getting some music for your book, start working on some monologues, getting some acting, dance classes, and get some vocal lessons. Those are 8 things that you could be doing. Headshot, resume. Let me look at my thing. Headshot, resume, 2 books, dance class, acting class. Oh, that's 7 things. Probably 8. 7 acting class and vocal lessons. So 7 things that you could be doing at the beginner stage. But always remember what I said. Assess your talent. Let somebody who doesn't know you, let them hear you sing. Let them watch you dance. Let them hear you perform a monologue or do a 2-person play. Let that person who you trust, who you know, and who likes you, let them give you constructive feedback, because the amount of no's can deter you from doing what you feel in that vision is where you should ultimately go. All right. Let me see if I covered all my things that I wanted to talk about. Yes. I think so. I think I've covered it all. Woo. Hopefully it was a little streamlined. Yes, Tara, get a website. Once you hit that professional level that you've been in several shows, you've done a couple of things, you have a better resume than just church basketball. And I wasn't even that good at the basketball team. I wasn't even that good. I was just trying to make my resume look like it was something. Oh, but once you've got a little bit more what we call credits on your resume, then go ahead and get you that website, really. And even before that, if you're starting to do well in the classes, go ahead and get you a website. Get you a website. And then we'll talk about social media and how that plays a part in your performance branding. Like Justin said, it's a process, y'all, and we are always branding, rebranding, rebranding. All right. Hey, Ron. Hey, good to see you. Good to see you. He said, thanks. Can't hear this too many times. You're welcome, my brother. You're welcome. You know what? I watch videos all the time about this the same topic. I watch videos about acting, singing, dancing. I watch it because I know how important it is, and it's good to hear another actor. Ron Gephardt is an actor here in Memphis, a well-known actor, respected actor here in Memphis. So thank you, Ron, for that comment. But yes, me, even as an actress, I go and I listen and I watch and I learn from other actors to encourage me to go get my to take my acting classes, take these dance classes, take these vocal lessons, because right now, while we're in this pandemic, many of us, I don't know about anybody else, but I've helped myself to the fridge really good. And I haven't been as, prepared, I would say, or I haven't been preparing myself. So when the pandemic, things start getting better, that I'm ready. I've heard that comment, you got to stay ready so you don't have to so you never have to get ready. And that's one thing I realized last week. I was like, you know what, I'm going to take my career to the next level by making sure I'm taking my doing my vocal lessons and my vocal warm-ups and working with a vocal coach. I'm going to start taking some dance classes, and even if it's Zumba, because I need to be able to be able to change movements at a heartbeat. I'm needing to continue to do my vocal lessons with my vocal coach and just continue to ready myself up so when opportunity presents itself, I'm not caught unprepared or ill prepared. I got one of the things I got the other day was an email for some casting agents, and I realized, I was like, I haven't worked this muscle in a while. So I took the entire week to prepare, and it felt like I was just, like Kendall likes to say, it's like priming the pump. It felt like I was priming the pump, and I was like, oh, she had to practice. So I decided, I said, nope, I'm going to dedicate some specific time and have that ready so that when the callbacks start coming in, then I'm not, ill prepared, not to be ill prepared. All right. Again, if you want to take some acting classes, dance classes, or vocal lessons, I say reach out to your local theaters, reach out to your local artists, because there are many artists who also give acting, singing, dance classes virtually. Me personally, I do acting and I do audition prep and resume review, but that's it. I can help you with a song, but I'm not a musician to help you go through that. So I would recommend you searching your local, and it's always good to work local. First of all. Secondly, because those are people you can engage with quicker, and be prepared for that investment because they are using their talents and their time to help you get better for this industry. There are no guarantees, but they're there to help you get better. Let's see. I think I did it. Let's see. I think I did it. Y'all. Now, I did have a question, another question asked of me from my friend Queen. Hi, Queen. She said, could you talk about maintaining greatness? For instance, sometimes I give a speech and the delivery is great, and other times I try to use the same formula and it does not work. How do you become consistently great? Same in acting and singing. All right. So that question is a great question because it helps me to address something that, I meant to remove that. It helps me to address something that we as actors face all the time. All the time. There is no consistently great performance. Every performance, whether it's giving a speech or it's singing, acting, or dancing, every performance is different. Also, there are other external and sometimes internal factors that will affect your delivery. So you just have to be prepared for those things. So here's an example. I was doing a show in New Hampshire, and this was Little Shop of Horrors, right? I got a call that something wasn't right. Things weren't going well in my personal life, right? Things weren't going well in my personal life, and it jolted me. Now, I was one of the urchins that had to sing, come on, little shop, right? Little shop, yeah. And so I would go off stage, I would break down, then come back. My performance wasn't the same. It wasn't better or worse, but it was different because I was affected by external, internal issues that I was dealing with. There have been times where I've been on stage. Y'all, I gotta tell y'all about this time. This is one time I was on stage and I was doing this show with it was at Playhouse on the Square. I was doing this particular show, and I'm gonna show you the picture. In this picture, and this is the little shot picture, but in this particular show, sometimes you will forget your lines, and we in the industry, we call that going up. So I went up. No, he my friend, went up on his lines, and he was asking me for help, and I didn't read. I wasn't reading the signs. I didn't know what he was talking about, and he was like, can you help me on stage while we were live? But he made it a part of his character. And I didn't know Nick LaRue. I didn't know that that's what he was asking me to do, and it just felt like it felt kind of weird. So there will be things that take you out of the moment. There will be things that will distract you on stage, off stage, in the audience. You'll be so surprised. But the best advice I can give as far as being consistent or trying your best to be consistent is practice, practice, practice. Practice in front of a mirror, because if you don't believe yourself while you're delivering it, no one else will deliver you. No one else will believe you. No matter if it's a speech. That's why in dance studios, you'll see mirrors everywhere. Acting, singing, dancing, giving a speech, prepare. And that preparation comes from practicing, 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 practicing. I cannot drill that enough with the people I work with as far as them, their acting and their performance careers. Practice, 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 practice. When I used to teach at Overton High School, I told my students, you have a monologue you're going to be reciting next week. Here are the different monologues. They would always say, Miss K, how do you expect us? Thank you, Jared. Thank you, my brother. How do you expect us to remember these lines? Practice, practice, practice. When I did The Color Purple, I was on stage the whole time. I had to practice, practice my lines, other people's lines. I didn't memorize their lines, but just like little words that they would say. We call those cues, little cues that they would give to help me remember, okay, this is the line that came next. Practice. After every show I did, no matter, y'all, I'm about to give y'all some real good insight right here. After every rehearsal, I would go home and go through all my lines. After every show, I would go home and go through all my lines. After every scene, you would see me with my script, either on stage left or stage right, going through my lines, my blocking, because I'm not the best dancer, but I want to make sure that it just looks like oh, that girl talented. So most of the times my script is on either side of the stage. I'm rehearsing after the show. After the show starts, like it's open and people are there and buying tickets. After we've been doing the show several times, I'm back home going over my script, going when I have two shows that I'm doing that are overlapping, going over my script, practice, practice, practice. The same with the speech. When I performed with the Memphis Symphony Orchestra and I got a chance to do a Maya Angelou poem, I had to practice. I practiced in the shower. I practiced at my job on the way to my job. I practice, 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 practice. That's the only way to get that muscle memory in your mouth and in your mind, so that you get to a point where you're just reciting and just doing it without even thinking about it. You've gotten so accustomed to hearing them in a particular setting, in a particular pattern or way, that it just becomes like a song to you. We'll remember songs all the time. I want to rock. I want to rock. I want to rock. I want to rock right now. I'm my bass and I can't. You can remember songs because you just remember the cadence of the words. So practice, practice, practice at least 20 minutes every single day in order for you to continue to fight against those external factors that might affect you when you're trying to do a speech, a monologue, a song, a show, a dance number, whatever it is. Practice so that way you're prepared. Your body can walk into or move into muscle memory without you having to really think about it. So when I was working in New Hampshire and I got that news and I came back on stage, I was just operating like, I was thinking about it, even though I was trying to compartmentalize it, but I was still, because I'd practiced so much, I was still able to give a 100% performance, even though in my mind I was at 50%, but because I was so caught up in muscle memory, It just became second nature. Practice, practice, practice. In front of a mirror, practice. Record yourself. Practice. If you don't believe it, no one else will. Okay? Okay. Yeah. I think I've done it. I've answered a few of the questions. That was a question that came to me this week, which I really wanted to answer. If you have any other questions about this industry, like I said, I will be doing this type of sit down and help you prepare for your career type of work at least once a month. So that way you can get started, come back, ask questions, or if you've already been a performer, level up, as they say, level up, come back, ask some more questions so that we can help one another, because this industry for me, it works best when we help one another. Okay. So that's it. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments right now and I'll show them. If not, don't worry about it. No pressure, no pressure. Let me see. Was there something else I wanted to say? Was there something else I wanted to say? I can't remember. If I remember, I'll just make a post. All right. That's it, y'all. So feel free. You can go. Let me type it in the comments really quickly where you can find my website and other things that I've been doing during this pandemic. All right. Here it is. Yeah. So you can go to linktr.ee/kolhobama. You can access my website there. You can access two events that I've done on Facebook. You can access that. Those costs. Those were two events I had that I charge for. But you can feel free to support your local artists, your local entities, your local theaters, dance troupes. Y'all, in this pandemic, over 2.1 million performers have been out of work. So please feel free to support your local favorite, some of us, favorite performers as we continue to do our best to entertain, challenge, and encourage you during this pandemic. Y'all, my name is Claire D. Kolheim. Hey. And this was Let's Be Clear About It. I hope you have a great day and I'll see you next time. Next week I actually have two guests next week and I'm really excited to sit down and talk with them about their career. So you don't want to miss it. Let's Be Clear About It. Let me not say weekly. Thursdays at 12 o'clock Central Standard Time. Y'all have a great day. I love you. And there ain't nothing you can do about it. Yes, yes. Nothing you can do about it. Bye, y'all.